We're going to be talking about episode 88 on Dragon Ball Super. The title of the episode is Gohan and Piccolo, Teacher and Pupil Clash in Max Training. Obviously, this is going to be an episode mostly focusing on Gohan and Piccolo, but there are a couple of things that happened in the episode that I do want to go over. So the first thing, it opens up with Gohan and Piccolo fighting. Gohan's in his base form over there, and obviously he's obviously rusty. Piccolo is kicking his ass. This is where we actually find out that this is when Goku came up to Piccolo. I'm guessing right after the preliminary tournament to ask him to join the tournament. And Piccolo already knows about the rules and everything. He knows the situation. He knows what's going to happen if they lose. And obviously, part of the conversation also included Piccolo agreeing to train Gohan. And actually, he was the one that brought it up. So that's why in the last couple of episodes, when Gohan came to Piccolo, he already knew. So that's where we find out. So Gohan goes into Super Saiyan, but he still loses. It cuts out into Gotenks and Trunks and Bulma back at Capsule Corp. Bulma is talking on the phone about her new baby. We don't know who it is, but she's obviously showing her off and everything. And Trunks and Gotenks are in the process of trying to change Bulma's diaper, but obviously they have no idea what to do. So Vegeta, Super Vegeta Dad comes around, saves the day, shows him how it's done, and obviously Baby Bulma is very happy to have somebody experience to help him out. In the back, we see Wiz and Beerus talking. I think Beerus is a little bit annoyed, only because he's seeing how carefree everybody is, and I think it's pissing him off. And he feels like telling them to just to ruin everybody's mood. Wiz tells him, however, that that's going to be a very bad idea, and a situation plays out where Bulma is pretty much chewing them out, and Bulma's putting the blame on Beerus 100%, even though it's not really Beerus' fault that the tournament is going on and everything. But obviously Bulma doesn't care about that. She just wants somebody to take the blame, and she's gonna put it out on Beerus. This is just just an imaginary situation, and obviously Wiz talked Beerus out of actually revealing it, and it's hopefully we'll see what happens afterwards. It cuts out to Krillin and 18 next, just practicing sparring, and Krillin loses the spar, and I think a couple of neighbors are watching them fight, thinking that they're having a big argument or something, but we see Marin obviously very happy, cheering both of them on. 18 isn't going easy on him either, kicking him right in the face. And one thing that I do think is interesting is that she mentions that to Marin that she's going to win Krillin's 10 million, which leads me to believe that 18 still, obviously she doesn't know what's going on, but she definitely knows that. Well, she thinks that she's gonna get her money still. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. Once the actual rules of the tournaments are disclosed to everybody in the tournament, how she's gonna react to Goku, which I think is gonna be pretty funny. It goes back to Gohan and Piccolo. Piccolo is pretty much they're sparring still, and this is where we actually find out that Gohan has not reached his full potential. When he was back at the preliminary fighting with Basil, everybody thought that he was back to where he was at Goku when he was fighting Boo, and I think when he sparred with Goku before, we had some people including me, had that assumption that he was pretty much the same where we left him off back in Dragon Ball Z when he fought Majin Buu. But this is where Piccolo pretty much tells him that Gohan is nowhere near with the level he was at Buu, and one of the things that he's going to have to oversee to get past, I guess, his weakness is that he has to stop being over eager about winning. In order for him to actually win the tournament, the first thing he has to do is accept that not all fights is about winning or losing, because otherwise it's just gonna haunt his mind, and it's not gonna let him focus on actually winning. The scene changes back to Cabba, actually in Universe 6. He's flying a spaceship. He's going to somebody's some planet. Obviously, you could see that he's very worried. He knows that Hit is very strong, but he knows that in order for them to win the tournament, they're going to need a lot more than just Hit, because Hit's just one person, and he's going to be going against 70 other people. And if there is going to be some sort of universal, I guess, different universes teaming up, Cabba doesn't think so yet. As far as he's concerned, there's 70 opponents that Universe 6 have to take care of. That includes our, obviously Universe 7, Goku, and everybody else. He goes, visits, some other person in another planet, which turns out to be, his name is Renzo. It looks like, he's a former master of Cabba. Which is actually pretty interesting, because the way he looks, everybody assumed that the Universe 6 Saiyans pretty much looks like Cabba, it looks like Cabba, but obviously they have other looking Saiyans that look like the Saiyans in Universe 7, and Renzo is actually one of them. He asks Renzo to join the tournament because he obviously thinks very highly of his skills. He used to be a captain in the defense force, and but for whatever reason, it's not shown in the episode. He hurt his leg. He doesn't think he could fight, which is probably a good thing for them. But he does ask him to talk to his sister Cauliflower, which is going to be the Broly, female Broly, and the name is confirmed to be Cauliflower, which is obviously a play on word, and cauliflower, and Broly being broccoli. It's a clever naming thing that they did. So by next episode, we should see the introduction of Cauliflower, and exactly how she's gonna play in the tournament. From the initial scenes, it looks like she's like a gang leader or something. She's munching on like meat with like all these badass men around her and everything. So it looks like she's in some sort of gang, which is kind of funny, only because Cabba is obviously like a defense force. He's very he takes his job very seriously. So criminals, I'm not sure how he feels about talking with criminals. He obviously knows Cauliflower, and he feels very uncomfortable talking to her. But Renzo thinks that he should do it anyway, because her potential is far greater than Renzo. The scene cuts back to Gohan and Piccolo, and this is when Piccolo takes off his hat and his clothing, and he's like, all right, game time, no more playtime. The warming up is over, and they go for real. He tells Gohan that he has a weakness, and he's gonna show him that weakness. He lets his guards down, pretty much his weakness being that he lets his guard down at pivotal points in a fight, and if he wants to win, he can't do that. He goes back to when Gohan fought Buu. And one of the reasons why he lost was, he let his guard down, and he let himself get absorbed because he just didn't take it too seriously. And this is when the hype begins, because obviously this is Gohan. Piccolo's pushing Gohan. telling him, Super Saiyan isn't the strongest that you could be. You're obviously you could be a lot stronger. And obviously he's talking about Mystic Gohan, and this is where it shows up. I guess, after Todd training with Piccolo for a few hours is all he needs to get back to Mystic form, but it happened, and I'm really hyped for it. I'm very, it's going to be exciting to see. This is, at this point of the episode is when he's pretty much at his strongest, when he's at the same level he was when he fought Majin Buu. And remember, back when Mystic Gohan was introduced, he was confirmed to be the strongest Z fighter at the time. Things obviously changed a lot since Gohan fought Majin Buu. There's a lot of things that happened, so he still has a lot of catching up to do. But in terms of actual strength, I could say that he's probably as strong, maybe stronger than Fat Buu at this point. So as the team stand, he could be the third strongest fighter over there. They continue their fight. He's now that he unlocked his Mystic form, he fights with Piccolo again, and this time he's going all out. Piccolo puts together all these clones. All these clones come out of Piccolo, and they're still fighting and everything. And he defeats one of them. He cuts off one of the hands of one of the Piccolos. It turns out to be a real one. And that's when Piccolo starts looking hurt and everything, and he's very concerned about Piccolo. But Piccolo obviously is a badass himself. He shoots a fireball with his dismembered hand, and pretty much it tells Gohan, "See, you let your guard down again. You thought the fight was over, even though it wasn't, and that's the same reason why you lost to Majin Buu." I think this episode definitely is going to be one that Gohan's going to have to reflect a lot on. He's done a lot, and this is something that might come back to haunt him in the actual Tournament of Power. We'll see what happens, but my guess is that Gohan is gonna let his guard down for whatever reason, and he's gonna get knocked out. And so it cuts out. He still loses that fight, still, obviously, to Piccolo. He hasn't won any fight throughout this episode. He's pretty much fought him 3 times, and he's just lost every single one of them, which shows that Piccolo is obviously not as weak as people say he is. He's obviously at least as strong as a Super Saiyan. He could keep up with Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. He could obviously throw, be able to play the game to be able to throw Gohan off guard for his Mystic form as well. It cuts back. It cuts to at the end of the day. There's a fire going on. They're eating like a dinosaur's tail, and it's a funny scene where the dinosaur wakes up and realizes that holy shit, these guys are eating my tail. I have to get the hell out of here. So the dinosaur is running away, and while they're talking, while the dinosaur is running away, they're talking over the fire. Gohan and Piccolo, just talking about, I guess it just cuts into this part of the scene where Piccolo's letting Gohan know that the real training's about to start. He's alluding that Gohan could get a lot stronger than he already is, and obviously we're going to see that for the next for the Tournament of Power. We'll see how strong he can get, if he's gonna unlock a new form. But Piccolo's ready. Piccolo's already alluding to the fact that Gohan can get stronger. He can get a lot stronger than he currently is. So this is, I guess, the show's way of foreshadowing that yes, Gohan is gonna get a big, massive power up, and we're gonna see that he's going to play a big role in the tournament. This is where Gohan goes back to Piccolo, saying that they should come up with combination moves, which is interesting to see because we know that a few days ago there was a teaser for the Tournament of Power episode, arc, Over and then it didn't really say any, it didn't reveal too much, but it did show I guess the introduction of Universe 7's tournament participants, and it showed Goku, Vegeta, and Blue, but they were alone, and it showed that 17 and 18 were together, introduced together. Piccolo and Gohan were introduced together, and Krillin, Tien, and Roshi was introduced together, which pretty much this episode confirms. It looks like there are going to be combo players. They're going to be people that are spread out into different teams, even within the group of 10, and those are going to be the tournaments. Those are going to be like the mini teams within the big team over there. So that's going to be pretty interesting. We're going to see some interesting moves between Gohan and Piccolo. Hopefully, we'll see something cool come out of that one. And the episode ends the episode ends with the tournament ring still putting together. And it ends with actually a funny scene with Yamcha still thinking that Goku's going to ask him to join the Tournament of Power. He's wondering why he hasn't got his invitation yet, and it ends with him calling out to Goku saying, when is this guy gonna come? But obviously we're not gonna see that's not gonna happen. We're probably going to see that again after the tournament, where Yamcha is probably going to be a little bit pissed off that he didn't even get considered for the Tournament of Power. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was a decent episode. It wasn't the greatest one. There's usually a lot more world building with even the filler episodes, the last couple ones, but this one did go into some other details. It confirmed a couple things. It confirmed that Gohan is now, currently at the end of the episode, this is when Gohan is going to be as strong as he was when he fought Majin Buu. It also showed the progression of Gohan being as weak as he was from the beginning to the end, some of the weaknesses that he has to oversee, and on top of that, there was also obviously a couple of other things where Gohan, Bulma and them are still hanging out. 18 still thinks that money is going to be the main prize of the tournament. Kaba, a big introduction on Kaba's on the Universe 6 side, with Kaba going out to different Saiyans. This is the first time we're seeing another Saiyan in canon since Vegeta and Nappa were introduced back in the Saiyan Saga and DBZ, unless I'm not counting Vegeta's brother or anything like that, because we're not still 100% sure if that's canon. But yeah, this is a new introduction of another Saiyan since the Universe 6 arc, since Kaba. So this I think we're going to see a lot more Saiyans come into play, and coming from Universe 6. Overall, good episode. I'm excited for episode 89, which is going to be the episode where he recruits Tien and Roshi. I'll do another video on the preview itself, hopefully relatively soon. But let me know what you guys think. Are you guys excited for the next episode? I definitely am. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys next time.